The new moon on May 11th on Tuesday is happening in the sign of Taurus, and I'm here to tell you what it means for your sign. My name is Anastasia. I do astrology readings and I share my knowledge on my Instagram page and on here. Check out the links down below and please subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment. I really appreciate it. So this new moon is happening in Taurus, 21 degrees, 2:59 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to give you a short horoscopes to tell you what it means for each sign. But before I do, let's just talk about the new moon in general. So new moon is always new beginning. And this one is relatively straightforward. It's not making any tough aspects. It's kind of this like happy, fertile, lovely energy of Taurus. And Taurus is a materially driven sign. It's the sign that seeks stability, the sign that most values commitment, loyalty, steadfastness, dedication, hard work. So you will be able to capture these energies and use them to your advantage for sure. Some of the aspects that are getting in the way is this new moon going to sextile Neptune, and Neptune is our dreams and imagination and fantasy, as well as altruism and charity. So the more you tap into your imagination, the more you trust yourself, the more you kind of allow your imagination fly and maybe listen to the universe and trust in the universe, the more success you'll find. The more altruistic you are, if you are, doing something that will benefit the rest of the world, something that will make the world a little bit better, it will likely be successful. If it's a creative project, Taurus is the sign ruled by Venus. Neptune is connected to artists and filmmaking, illusion, even, turning, kind of tapping into spiritual things like astrology, tarot, esoteric things, and turning them into a solid, kind of stable business, for example, could come with this new moon very much. Just believe your intuition and turn your dreams into reality. A couple of other aspects that are involved is Mercury in Gemini trining Saturn in Aquarius. And if Mercury is our mind, it's currently in the sign of its rulership. Saturn is in the sign of its traditional rulership, Aquarius. We have the power to think deeply and come up with a plan and perhaps even enjoy fulfilling that plan, enjoy checking items off that list. So you will be more focused, you will be more concentrated, you will not be, easily distracted like Mercury in Gemini can sometimes be. Chances of you finishing your to-do list, chances of you writing, if you want to write a book, for example, chances of you finishing that book are likely, and making things on time without any mistakes and kind of finding success come with that too. And at the same time, Mars in Cancer is going to sextile Uranus in Taurus. And if Mars is our physical energy, the fighter inside of us, Uranus is the spark, the electric energy, the change. So you put that drive, ambition together with the electric Uranian energy, and there's more of a capacity to change things and change for the better because it's a sextile, it's a harmonious aspect. So now let's take a look and let's break it down for each sign. If you are an Aries rising, this new moon is happening in your second house and it's going to sextile Neptune in the 12th. New beginnings in your finances, new beginnings in the way you make money, in the way you connect with others, perhaps on a level of values, because second house is what we value in life. So you are redefining things that are important to you. And with a connection in the 12th house, perhaps your support, financial support, or your values are changing to something that's more spiritual, more deep, more meaningful. And 12th house is the house of self-undoing, but it's also the house of like the biggest inner strength. So it's almost like you're pulling from your inner reserves and you're pulling from your beliefs, from your imagination, from your artistic talents to make something happen in your second house of money. Mercury will be in your third house together with Venus ruling this lunation in the second house, saying that your communication gets important here too, and your ability to speak your mind and your ability to even take things that are fun to you and turn them into tangible career and make money off of something you enjoy doing from the third house. Even make money from your education, make money from something that's been brewing in your mind, using your hands, anything like that could bring you success. If you are a Taurus rising, the moon is happening in your first house and it sextiles Neptune in the 11th. So you are reinventing yourself and you're doing it with the help of your dreams. So there's something that you've been working on really hard. There's something that you had a vision for, that beautiful reality, something that you want to become or you want to make happen. Now is the time to set that plan in motion. What steps do you need to take? Do you need to change your appearance? Do you need to present yourself in a different way? Do you need to brand yourself differently? If you have a business, let's say, maybe this is the time to change things up and shake things up and come up with a new brand, come up with a new image, anything like that. Mercury and Venus ruling this lunation is in your second house, trining Saturn in the 10th. So this reinvention and this renewal and the moment of rebirth, whatever is happening in your life, is going to benefit you financially, likely, and it's going to be connected to your career. So maybe, at this point, maybe it's just something that you're passionate about, but in the future, you have the power to take it to the level of career. If you are a Gemini rising, this new moon is happening in your 12th house, and it's sextiling Neptune in the 10th. So there's new beginnings connected to your spirituality, connected to your self-worth in a way, and but more like spiritual self-worth. What are you telling yourself? Maybe you're letting go of some past traumas, and maybe you're embodying your true self. Maybe you're pursuing career that you've been afraid to pursue, and now is a cycle of letting go. You're healing something from the past. Even though full moons are usually about healing, here it feels like you're also doing some kind of healing because Mercury and Venus will be in your first house. There is a lot of focus on you. What do you want? Who do you want to be? How are you presenting yourself? How are you talking to yourself? So a lot of it is, it could also be connected to moving far away because 12th house is the house of foreign lands as well. And isolation that comes from being alone. But here I see this more positive, being like you might be spending some time alone, but it is important on your path of becoming a better version of yourself, becoming more true to yourself. If you are a Cancer rising, this new moon is happening in your 11th house and it's sextiling Neptune in your 9th house. So there's new beginnings in the areas of your friendships. There's new beginnings in your networks. Maybe you're letting go of, or maybe you lost some friends, or maybe you've felt disconnected from your existing group of friends. So now is the time to upgrade, maybe change your network, change your professional network, get closer with your colleagues, find a mentor, reach out to someone in your social network. Even starting a social media page can come with that because 11th house is the house of your fans, and maybe you're finding your fan group. And at the same time, there could also be a big change in your dreams and things that you want to pursue and things that you go for in life, because Mercury is in your 12th. You're doing trining Saturn in the 8th. My best friend is a Cancer rising. There's a lot of healing happening, and also from reading for clients, there's lots of inner work happening for you guys right now. So you are rebuilding your inner self, so then the new dream can come up and the new beginning can appear in your life. And it could be connected to a new professional venture, or it could be connected to a move, or studying something new, tapping into spirituality, tapping into inner peace, creating a new practice for yourself, anything like that. If you are a Leo rising, this new moon is in your 10th house and it's sextiling Neptune in the 8th. So there's new beginnings in your career. You're starting a new cycle, 6 months of seeking recognition, perhaps achieving recognition, perhaps getting a raise, getting more responsibility at work. Maybe you'll get to pioneer a project or lead a team that you've always wanted to lead. There could be some change in your status, even finding a new job. Maybe you've been feeling unsatisfied with the existing job or the way things are run, and you're trying to make a switch and kind of go for something else and go for something bigger and better. Mercury being in your 11th house, trining Saturn in the 7th, tells me that your network might be changing. There might be some rethinking as far as like, are these people supporting who you want to be? Are they supporting your dreams? Are you following your dreams and surrounding yourself with people who can build you up versus bring you down? So a lot of rethinking happening in the area of career and your support groups. If you are a Virgo rising, the moon is happening in your 9th house, and it's sextiling Neptune in the 7th. So yeah, like new moon in Taurus in the 9th, and Neptune is in Pisces in your 7th house. So there's new beginnings in a few possibilities. You know, it could be your beliefs, your faith, your larger philosophy in life might be changing. Maybe you feel like you've always been a meat eater and now you're becoming a vegetarian, or you've always believed you've been, I don't know, a Democrat and now you're becoming apolitical, or something is happening in your worldview. There might be new beginnings connected to writing and publishing. 9th house is the house of writing and publishing. So this is very much a place where you can, you know, commit to writing something, commit to a writing career, and work really hard. Starting a new class is a possibility. Going back to school is a possibility. Moving somewhere can come with this transit, with this new moon as well. Something is changing. You know, your world is expanding. 9th house is the house of expansion, either through philosophical pursuits, educational pursuits, or through travel. And then Mercury being in your 10th house, about to go retrograde, Venus as a ruler being in the 10th house, you know, whatever you're doing, and then it's trining Saturn in the 6th. So a lot of focus on the career, a lot of focus on your purpose in life and things you're trying to achieve. And knowing Virgo risings with Gemini, if your midheaven is in Gemini, you might be having 2 careers, and maybe you've always believed that you need to have one, but now your views are changing and you're realizing that you can do more with your life, and juggling those different hats and trying to make time for everything. If you are a Libra rising, this new moon is happening in your 8th house of karmic debts, of transformation, vulnerability, healing, intimacy, sudden events, money that belong to other people. So there could be a lot of new possibilities here. You can be connecting on a deep level. You may find yourself depending on someone financially, or maybe you're seeking a partnership with someone. This could be, you know, pulling resources together. This could be applying for a loan, taking on a new financial project. Like maybe you're putting your resources together and you're trying to make money together with someone. On a more philosophical, more like deeper level, this could mean starting therapy. This could mean working on your healing, facing your fears. 8th house is a house of things we don't expect. So I think this could bring a lot of potential of like connecting to yourself on a deeper level as well, because Saturn is currently in your 5th house, Mercury's in the 9th. So your views are changing in a lot of ways too. You might be rethinking how you look at the world. You may be with the 9th house, Mercury and Venus, maybe you're taking on a loan to go to school, or maybe a loan to move to a new place, or maybe you're trying to become a teacher. A lot of new beginnings connected to the world expansion and growth in your views and in your teaching career, or in your career of like a leader, a mentor, educator of some kind. If you are a Scorpio rising, this new moon is happening in your 7th house. So it's all about relationships for you. And it's sextiling Neptune in the 5th house. So there could be new beginnings in your romantic life. Maybe some kind of commitment. If you have been in a relationship, maybe you get engaged in the next 6 months. Maybe you get married if you've been planning to get married for a while. There is new beginnings in your professional life. Maybe you're partnering up with someone. Maybe you're starting a business together with someone, bringing resources together with Mercury and Venus being in your 8th house. Some kind of exchange of energy is happening, and the change in your status from like me and the way I see myself to us and our resources, and even you know, thinking deeply about what you want in a partner and talking about those things and like openly discussing them and coming to a deeper level of intimacy could come with this new moon as well. If you are a Sagittarius rising, this new moon is happening in your 6th house with Neptune being in the 4th, making a positive aspect to this new moon. This could mean new beginnings in the areas of work, daily life, routines, your pets as well, and your health. So you may become more health conscious. Maybe it's time to change your diet. Maybe it's time to come up with an exercise plan. Maybe it's time to let go of some things on your plate, because a lot of you have been doing multiple things, in the last year perhaps, and maybe you're overexerting yourself. This could also signify finding a new job in the next few months, perhaps letting go of a job that's unsatisfying and unfulfilling, and starting a new cycle of taking better care of your health and your mind and your body. And maybe you're doing that by letting go of a job that's not satisfying, or maybe you're doing that by literally rewriting your eating patterns, and maybe you're starting to cook, and before you would just order a lot of stuff in. Mercury being in the 7th, trining Saturn in the 3rd, there's also a need for honest communication, a need for leaning on your connections, asking for help as much as you possibly can, and relying on other people to support you, and that you don't need to carry everything on your own. If you are a Capricorn rising, this new moon is happening in your 5th house and sextiling Neptune in the 3rd. So your area of creative pursuits gets highlighted. Fun, joy, romance, children, creativity. So creatively, right, you can be starting a new project. Maybe you're finding a new hobby. Maybe there is something that you've always liked to do and something that always brought you a lot of joy, and now you're thinking of giving it more of a shot and making it more of a permanent thing in your life. Maybe there's a new romantic beginning happening in your life. Maybe a romantic beginning that will lead to something more serious. Reconnecting with a child, or connecting with your child inside of you could be a big theme here. And I think creative artistic pursuits can come from that. Like, what have you always enjoyed when you were little? That could be a big question you're asking yourself. And Mercury being in the 6th, trining Saturn in the 2nd, there is a potential for you to work really hard at this new thing, new relationship, new child. Some of you might find out you're getting pregnant. Some of you might, maybe your child is starting a new thing in life. Maybe they're starting a new kindergarten, or something is happening. I'm not a parent, so I don't even know. I mean, it's May. Do kids go to kindergarten in May? I assume they do, but something, like some new thing. You maybe are giving birth, maybe you're getting pregnant, maybe you're deciding to have a baby and you're investing a lot of energy into Mercury being in the 6th, working on your health, trying to get your body ready, because it's no easy task to carry a child. You are working on, how can you prepare better? How can you bring more value into your life, either through joy, through children, or romance? If you are an Aquarius rising, this new moon is happening in your 4th house, and it's going to sextile Neptune in the 2nd house. So there's new beginnings in your home life. There is new beginnings connected to land and property. Maybe you're buying, maybe you're selling, maybe you're moving, maybe you feel like it's time to change where you live, maybe it's time to uproot yourself, or it could also signify a time when you will nest, when you will invest a lot of time and energy, maybe even spending money, right? Like Neptune being in the 2nd house, kind of telling you like, ooh, look at, like, you can bring art into your home. Maybe you can bring some new design. Maybe you can streamline and make it more simplistic, or more like, I don't know, Renaissance, like maybe paint everything blue. I don't know. There could be some change happening there. And of course, 4th house is home and family. So there could be new beginnings in your home and family. Having a child is a possibility here as well, because that's family is built out of children and parents. siblings, etc. So you could find yourself spending more time with family members. Maybe there's new beginnings in the life of your parents. Maybe they are moving. Maybe they're selling your childhood home and you're left with that feeling of like, where's my home now? I need to find a new home for myself. Mercury is the ruler and Venus being in your 5th house, trining Saturn in the 1st. Say that there's definitely potential for, you know, creative things in the home and maybe changes in the decor, like I already mentioned. And you are Aquarius rising, you are undergoing a really deep change on a personal level, on a level you view yourself, and maybe even, you know, like you may find yourself this year, or may have been finding yourself this year, taking a lot more responsibilities in your home and being more there for people in your life and being the grown-up, right? And like taking on more and more serious responsibilities. And I think this new moon is also asking you to find comfort, and Mercury, Venus being in the 5th, like find some joy in life and make sure you're not just working really hard, and make sure you allow yourself some time to rest and some time to chill and like take a break. And last but not least, if you are a Pisces rising, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house and it's going to sextile Neptune in the 1st. So there's new beginnings in the area of your hobbies and skills and your communication. Maybe you are taking a hobby or a skill and turning it into a blog, or you're turning it into a shop, or you're turning it into a website, you know. Anything is possible. Anything that brings you joy, like 3rd house is something you enjoy doing. It's your neighborhood, it's people you like hanging out with, but it's also things that are familiar and easy and comfortable. So with that stable Taurian energy, you may find yourself taking those things and turning them into a stable source of income, perhaps, or into a stable career path. Maybe you're, you know, exploring with that Neptune in the 1st and Jupiter is about to move into your 1st house. You're exploring how you can be more of a leader, how you can be more authentic, more true to yourself. And that being a sibling too, there could be a reconnection or a new beginning in your relationship with your sibling. Maybe you're starting a business with a sibling. Maybe you're starting a new class. 3rd house sometimes is skills. Maybe you're upgrading your technology. Maybe you're buying a new camera, buying a new computer in order to become that, you know, communicator, blogger, writer, etc. And Mercury being in your 4th house, trining Saturn in the 12th. You know, how can you feel more safe? How can you feel more secure and find stability in instability in a way? Because 12th house is unstable. 12th house is like spiritual battles and things that you don't always see. And 4th house is the home, and the two of them are talking to one another. Almost like, how can you bring some of that, or, you know, maybe like find trust in things that are unfamiliar and trust that you are supported and you're protected at the same time as you're working on fulfilling your dreams and finding your true purpose. This is all I've got. Please hit the thumbs up and I'll talk to you in my next video. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Bye guys.